Hello, my friends. I'm Dale Kimberly, and this is my channel, God's Answers to Man's Problems. I want to share a story with you. It happened a few years ago. I was visiting with this older preacher. He was in bad shape and wasn't going to be here long. And I was spending some time with him, spent a couple of hours, and we enjoyed the reminiscing. We enjoyed the camaraderie, and we enjoyed telling stories and things that built us up. But as I was getting ready to leave, he said, "Preacher, do you know what John 14 says?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And he said, "What does it say?" And I said, "Well, it says, 'Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. For in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you.' It then says, 'I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also.'" The old preacher looked up at me and he threw his hand up and he said, "I'll see you at the house." Well, that was amazing to me. I thought that was just a tremendous story, and I couldn't wait till the next time I had an opportunity to preach it. And the very next Sunday, I was preaching at a congregation that's not where I usually preach. In fact, I think that's the only time I've ever preached there. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's bad. But anyway, I shared that story. There was a woman visiting there at that congregation, and she came to me the other day, and I was unexpected. She told me who she was, and she said, "You remember when you preached that sermon about see you at the house here at this congregation?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Well, I was there, and I want to tell you what happened." She said, "My dad was in bad shape, and I took that story back to him, and I began to witness to him. I began to tell him the things he needed to hear, and I told him about that story. Well, as it would have it, in a few weeks, she said, he was getting in really bad shape. The last time I saw him, he looked at me as I was leaving, and he said, 'Sis, I'll see you at the house.'" And she had to share that story. I want us to think about what that verse is really saying. Jesus says, "I go and prepare a place for you." Now, I love this earth and I love the things in it, but I'm going to love heaven more. To be able to know that I have a home with God, I have a home with Jesus the Messiah, and it's going to be heaven, a place where there's no more turmoil, there's no pain, there's no sorrow, there's no sickness, there's no stroke, there's none of the things that we face on this earth. It's going to be a great day. But Jesus says, "And I go and prepare a place for you." And then he says, "And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again." I want you to think about that. Jesus says, "I will come again." And he not only says that, but he says, "And receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also." I can't wait to be able to be with Jesus in heaven. Now, I know there are a lot of things that go on this earth, and I like the things that go on, and we have friends and we have good things that happen, but think about what it's going to be like to be with those friends and they never grow old, to be with those friends and they never get sick, to be with friends that never pass away. They're always healthy, they're always happy, and they're always living like they need to live. It's going to be a great and a grand day. It's going to be a day where you don't worry, you don't have to look at the things around you that are bad. It's a day to be with Jesus. And friends, I'm going to tell you, Jesus did say that he was coming again and that he had gone now to prepare a place for us. And when he comes again, he will receive us unto himself, that where he is, there we may be also. It's going to be a grand and a glorious day. So at the end of this day, I'm going to tell you, I'll see you at the house. But before we go into that, if you've enjoyed this lesson, I want you to please subscribe. If you have subscribed and this was of value to you, give me a like on it. And then the final thing that I need you to do, because we're here to preach Jesus, we're here to give the world hope, to let them know that it's not bad. It's not all war and sin and bad things, but it's a place where we come to serve our Lord, because this world's not our home. We're passing through, and one day we'll be in a grander and a better place, a place called heaven. Friends, if you would, share this. Let's preach Jesus, and I'll see you at the house.